A very warm welcome to the south of Malaysia. It is the knockout stage of the AFC Champions League Elite. Johor Darul Taksim take on Sanfrecce Hiroshima, the best in Malaysia, versus one of three Japanese teams who've made it to the knockout stage of this competition. We're at the Sultan Ibrahim Stadium. It's a wonderful new modern stadium, 6 years old exactly. 29 degrees centigrade, 71% humidity. That might favour the home team, although there are so many Spanish-born and Brazilian-born players in the home starting 11 that perhaps that weather advantage doesn't quite come into play as much. A full house anticipated for tonight. All 31,250 tickets have been sold. JDT regularly sell out this Sultan Ibrahim Stadium. And the noisy section, the Boys of Straight section in your shot there, will be doing their best to propel Johor to their best ever performance in the AFC Champions League. For the visitors, well, Hiroshima, they are undergoing a little bit of a revolution. They are, of course, a successful team, but they've got a new coach and 4 or 5 new players, and their noisy, boisterous fans, around about 50 up in the 4 grandstand away to our right. Well, they will make themselves heard. This, of course, is a 2-legged match, and Johor will be looking to take home advantage into the second leg in Hiroshima next week. The two teams have already met in the league stage of this competition. That resulted in a 2-1 win for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. But Johor, well, they were reduced to 10 men very early on in that game. Jonathan Silva, who doesn't make the lineup today, but he was red carded for a handball on the line, and that rather affected that result. Nonetheless, Sanfrecce Hiroshima do have the whip hand in terms of the history between these clubs. Some of those fans have made the journey down from Japan. Harry Feynman for JDT is an injured absentee. He is the local hero who has made good. He was one of the contenders for AFC Player of the Year last year, remarkably, but he had a nasty injury earlier on this year playing in international duty and has missed the bulk of this competition. But it is a star-studded JDT lineup. He came 6th in the overall standings, unbeaten at this Sultan Ibrahim Stadium. It was on the road that they found problems, but scoring goals was a bit of a problem here. Twice they were held goalless, once in remarkable fashion by Shanghai Shenhua when JDT reined in 48 shots on goal. I doubt they'll get 48 shots on goal against a very good Sanfrecce Hiroshima team. Hiroshima themselves are coming off the back of a J1 Division League defeat at home, a last-minute defeat to Kyoto at the weekend, and that means that new coach Bartosz Gol has changed his squad just a little bit, and 2 of his regular starters aren't even on the plane down south to Malaysia. The prize at this stage is wonderful if all goes to plan. With what's going on in the world, particularly in the Middle East at the moment, the plan is in jeopardy. But if all goes to plan, the quarter-finals, semi-finals and final will all be played in Saudi Arabia, and that means really mixing with the big money boys of the Saudi, UAE and Qatari leagues. That is the stated ambition for Johor Darul Taksim. Japanese clubs are used to getting to that stage. Hiroshima haven't. They would like to create a little bit of history for their club down in the south of Japan. And the bad boys, the ultras of Hiroshima, are trying to make themselves heard above the noise. It is a full house. The crowds outside are still trying to get in. Access to this stadium isn't the easiest, but the noise will be at a crescendo when the teams make their way out onto the surface. This is the AFC Champions League Elite. It's the knockout phase. It is Johor Darul Taksim, the home of the Southern Tigers, taking on from Japan, Sanfrecce Hiroshima. These two teams have only met once before. That was in the AFC Champions League Elite earlier this year. JDT don't have the best of record against Japanese teams. Just 2 victories in 12 previous matches. But the most recently of them was against Vissel Kobe, who also qualified for this knockout stage, one of 3 Japanese teams, as the Champions League Elite competition anthem soars over the airwaves. We are all set for 2 tense legs. Formalities done. It was the end of Chinese New Year last night, and there were fireworks being played until the early hours of the morning, fairly adjacent to the Hiroshima hotel. And it produced a comment from coach Bartosz Gol before the start of this match, but they will take that in their stride, I'm sure. As for JDT, they really must make home advantage tell. They lost the home leg of their round of 16 clash last year against Southeast Asian rivals Boram United. There have been personnel changes aplenty and coaching change aplenty since then. And this is a team that is designed to get success on the international stage. Oscar Arribas returns after suspension. And where he plays could well decide how Johor approach this game. His versatility means he can play defensively left or right, or up front left or right, but he is in the starting lineup. Just 2 changes from the side that started against Vissel Kobe in the last AFC Champions League match. Jairo gets a start up front. The Brazilian hasn't scored in the AFC Champions League, but has been brought in for games such as this. And Oscar Arribas is also there. Bergson da Silva, JDT's top goal scorer ever, is on the bench should goals be required, as is Teto Martin, who's got a little bit of impudence about him. Sean Evans from Australia is the man in charge.
I'll use you, okay? You speak to me first, okay? If you have any concerns, okay? Good luck.
He'll be assisted by Mark Marakis and Bradley Wright, and the 4th official, Majid Al-Shamrani from Saudi Arabia. Video match stifle officials also from Australia, Adam Kersey and Daniel Elder. For Sanfrecce, it's a busy time for coach Bartosz Gol, and he's made 5 changes from the side that lost to Kyoto in the J1 Vision League. They all come up front, but Akito Suzuki, the number 29, returns to lead the line. He scored twice against JDT when the teams met in November of last year. Plenty of youth on the bench. It is not the strongest squad that they could have selected according to these statistics, but nonetheless there is a full squad that is being used by Bartosz Gol, who himself is relatively new, who was only appointed in January. Michael Skibbe was the man who previously coached Sanfrecce Hiroshima in this AFC Champions League Elite. So all kinds of change of personnel. Anthony Jubiade gets the nod ahead of Sihan Hazmi in goal. Nene will get a start in midfield. He's a recent acquisition and didn't play in the last game. And there is Suzuki, who's got a wondrous left foot. Theoretically leads the line, but can float all over the place. Beautifully set up, and 2 legs of football coming your way. Sanfrecce Hiroshima in white get us underway in the first leg of the knockout stage of the AFC Champions League Elite. Long ball over the top, looks for Antonio Glauda. Johor Darul attacks him. Champions of Malaysia 11 times in a row. Remarkably, in the league, domestically. Johor on a run of 101 matches unbeaten. Just astonishing domestic dominance. But it's on this international stage that they really would like to make their mark. There is Suzuki, loses out to Nacho Inter. He'll have an important job just in front of the back four. Goalkeeper Osaka, practicing clear under a little bit of pressure. Cisco Munoz knows that these are the games he was really brought to win. Domestic dominance expected for JDT. Such are the resources that the club are being given. That was nearly blocked there, so we are a little bit fortunate. How about that? Oscar Arribas starting on the left-hand side. So there's a surprise already. Figueiredo lays it out wide. Marcus Guillaume, score of the winner against Vissel. Now for Bartosz goal. And his training with Red Bull. Young coach. He's brought in, he's not changed the way that Hiroshima play, but he has changed one or two of the personnel. He's certainly shaken the squad for this away leg. Nene, Portuguese, finds Jairo. Mendes tries to get through. Nene beaten to the punch, and Antonio Glauda hits it high up into the sky. Nacho Inter, 39 years of age, as fit as ever. Figueiredo, lovely spin and turn. João Figueiredo! Zarco saw that all the way. Not the most comfortable save, a little bit more power on it than I think Zarco thought. First corner of the match, 3 minutes in. Marcus Guillaume has got plenty to aim for. Shrafilov is good in the air. Figueiredo. Free kick awarded there against Arribas. In this noisy atmosphere, took a shot. Referee Sean Evans given the foul already against Nene. Figueiredo, a Malaysian international. And there is a big decision looming from the Court of Arbitration for Sport, because Figueiredo was banned earlier on this season by FIFA. Football Association Malaysia took the decision to the Court of Arbitration, and the decision is expected imminently after a hearing that was held last week. Figueiredo, one of the 7 players involved in that, as that comes over to Antonio Glauda. Spin and turn. This is Takaki Shichi. He's coming on the left-hand side of... Well, that's brilliant coverage by Shichi. His mistake. He's immediately passed it out to O'Hara. Moto O'Hara onto his right foot. Little dink up forward. Not the best of clearances from Glauda. Giordani. Arribas. Such a versatile man to have on your squad. Nene, Arribas. Nice composed football from Johor. And a high line coming in from the visitors, Hiroshima, who've said they've come here not to just contain the game. They'd like to make it a little bit easier for the home leg. They'd like to go back with a win. Alpara, the Spanish contingent. Here's Shrafilov slots in as the middleman at the back three. Zubiada. There's a Basque, Spanish and Brazilian contingent, very important. Here is the Brazilian, Marcus Guillaume. A little bit of space opened up for him. Cleared by Kim. Nene. wasn't too far over. Changed his squad throughout the season, has Xisco Munoz. He's added here and there. Marcus Guillermo is one of them. Nene as well. Came from Yunnan Yukon in January of this year. The ambition is to at least make the Saudi quarter-finals. Mix with the Al Hilals and the defending champions Al Ahly in Jeddah. If indeed it proves to be Subiare. Coolly done. Inter. Got a lot of pressure there. To Suzuki. He's played a good advantage. It's Para. Jaro being tugged back, and that's going to be the first yellow card, and it's going to go to Kim Joo-sung. Korean signed from FC Seoul in the middle of last season. He's played in all 4 AFC Champions League matches he's been available for, but he's on a yellow card now, is Kim. A chance for the big men. Zaro's good in the air, but it's the Israfilov Klauda combination who really are the potential targets here. Mendes, Figueiredo just couldn't get there. Kim's header. Nene comes backwards. Nacho Mendes. Kim again involved and belted high by Ayoko Abe. Klauda helps it up. A wrestling match out there at the moment. Zubiara was trying to play the ball into Para, went over the Spaniard's head. Xisco is working on 5 different trophies this year. The FA Cup is already won. The league is played 17-1-17 remarkably. Through to the semi-finals of the domestic Malaysia Cup and also the regional ASEAN Shopee Cup. They have a meeting with Pooram United. Pooram got an excellent 1-1 draw in Melbourne last night in the first leg of their round of 16 clash. Takashichi is being told to go back good 10 metres or so. Arribas. Superbly done by Oscar Arribas. And a little bit ambitious with the ball forward, but Figueiredo just beaten to it by Kim. Swept over, looking for Leo Germain. Taken from the wrong place. chosen by Matsumoto. He's in the heart of a two-man midfield, Kawabe and Matsumoto. Little push, not a big push by Chuko Ohara. To send big Raul Parra onto the deck. Gyro tries to flick it through to Figueiredo. Nacho Winter is there. No real space to play in for JDT. It's a 5-4-1 at the moment for Hiroshima. Skian. This is Nene. And Nacho Mendes of the job description of just trying to pick the difficult passes. That's not good from Nene. He's given that straight away to Ohara. And the break is on now. Ohara slows it down. Matsumoto. Araki. German. Happy just to take the sting out of the game in these early stages. Sanfrecce is 180 minutes. Shafilov's header. Figueiredo just can't quite turn it. This is Mochuko Ohara. Takaki. Mutu. JDT having to be organised and defend. Lovely ball in. Suzuki. Break for him, Rio German. Free kick on the edge of the penalty area. A little bit clumsy from Antonio Glauda. Rio German just nicked it away from the Spaniard. Right, free kick in a really good area as far as Sanfrecce Hiroshima are concerned. And you've got the left foot of Akito Suzuki. Josh Goal looks on, the German. So Takaki Sichi is there as well, the 16. Important moments in this tie. 5 in the wall for Anthony Zubiare. A two-man kneeling wall in front. Taking real pains to get this place right. Takaki's left foot looks to be the favourite, though Kawabe is also or thereabouts. Kawabe into the wall. Matsumoto. All a bit of an anticlimax at the end. Kim did well. Got the header back in. Nacho Winter can clear. Nacho Mendes finds Figueiredo onto Marcus Guillaume. And there's a 4-on-3 break in. Marcus Lowe's there to Oscar Arribas. Arribas just beaten away. Excellent defending from Tsukasa Chiodani, the experienced centre-back. Back the break to Ozako. Well, they broke quickly. Figueiredo switching the play. Marcus Guillaume picks out Arribas. Arribas direct. Couldn't get the better of the experienced 37-year-old centre-back. Signed from Alain in 2021. Nene. Marcus Guillermo's got pace, but so too does Takaki Shichi. Sultani, lovely ball down the line, looked for and found Shuto Nakano, and then Nakano is dispossessed by Nene. Nene says to Oscar Arribas, you go running. Arribas into Nacho Mendes. No real power on the shot from Mendes. Difficult one on the turn. The other way. Marcus Guillermo has proved to be a popular signing, even in the short time he's been at the club. There's just enough to find Nene. Para. Under pressure, they do squeeze so well. Throwing goes the way of JDT, but when Para looked up, there was no blue and red to aim for. Careless, given away, and Kawabe shifts it out to Ryojaman. Kawabe again. Matsumoto doing a good job. Shiotani clears and finds Ryojaman. Has time to turn. Hiroshima retreat. Figueiredo. AFC Champions League Elite West matches for obvious reasons. Both the first and second legs have been put on hold until the precarious situation in the Middle East is a little bit more clear. Mendes. Again, you've got the five-man defence. 5-4-1 when defending. Nice and disciplined and athletic and alert. JDT having to be patient. Into the body of Takaki. Away. The break is on. Here is Suzuki. Just runs into Nacho Inter. Arribas again. Direct from Oscar Arribas. The shot goes into Figueiredo and actually turns into a pass for João Figueiredo. Arribas again. Mendes was looking. Combination so far, Mendes and Arribas. Mendes has another chance. Hits the deck under a little bit of pressure from Ryojaman. Lovely fluent player, Ryojaman. And Suzuki front alongside with O'Hara. They're the three outlets for Hiroshima. atmosphere at both ends of the ground. A group of 50 or so Sanfrecce fans beating and chanting. Given away, Figueiredo. Sometimes they're being careless in possession, have Sanfrecce, which isn't something you'd expect. Gyro looks for Oscar Arribas, finds him, back to Gyro. Nacho Mendes tried to play Figueiredo in, but the door was closed. Mendes does well. Marcus Guilherme. Possessional stats very much in favour of JDT. Nearly 2/3 of the ball belongs to them. They've only had the only shot on target in this opening quarter of the contest. Remains goalless. Mahara. It out, and there is a designated water break, which has been put on by what could be an injury. Indeed, it is an injury for Nacho Inter. Looks like maybe a slight hamstring pull. Akete is the man who will be replacing him. Zaragoza in August of last year. Akete, he too has had injury problems. He's a very different player though from Nacho Inter. That means defensive duties might be taken over by Nacho Mendes. Well, nobody will be more disappointed than Nacho Inter with being forced off with injury. Undaunted by the mishap for the captain, Elias Rafalov assumes the captain's armband. We're in the Ramadan period in Muslim countries, and so there will be a designated water break. Before that, big hug for the skipper. Assume it's just a little bit of a hamstring pull. Akete comes in. That will just mean a slight change of role, I suspect, for Mendes. Johor give the ball back sportingly. This is the first of two legs. AFC Champions League Elite, second time that this revamped competition is being played in the format of the league phase, with Johor came 6th, Sanfrecce Hiroshima came 3rd. Sanfrecce last year did very well in the AFC 2, but destined for a long run. To field an ineligible player in their quarter-final clash against Lion City Sailors and find themselves 6-1 win, reversed to a 3-0 defeat. Saw them eliminated from the competition. Oh, given away! And Suzuki! Oof, Zubiane. And that is a chance. Akito Suzuki. He was going just to try to lift it over the goalkeeper. Never really got enough on it. It's a comfortable save. There's going to be a yellow card. And it's a red, it's a second yellow. 25 minutes in, and Kim Joo-sung sees red. Nene on the floor. Well, there's a twist. Let's see how much there is in here. Well, he stepped across his man. He can't complain about that. Certainly stepped across his man. Didn't need to. He's already on that yellow. So that is 2 yellows equal red for Kim Joo-sung, and the 25-year-old former FC Seoul man is off. And Hiroshima are down to 10 men for the best part of an hour plus. Now this will test Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Red card for Kim Joo-sung. Nene having received treatment. Sean Evans, I don't think there's much that Kim Joo-sung can complain about there. He's on the yellow, you need to be careful. He wasn't. And in the first game between these two teams in the league phase, it was Johor down to 10 men early. This change things. Going to be a yellow card as well. It's not for the captain, it's for the his assistant. Right. Alpara. Nene. Arribas. No pretense at attacking while they reorganise themselves at the moment for the Japanese team. Nene. Ketze ahead of him. Nacho Mendes, there's a Ketze. It's a little bit too far advanced for Arribas. All a little bit narrow for Johor. Man did well. Now under pressure from Suzuki. Man, second chance. That's gone out of play. That will be a corner kick for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Otoshkol, it was indeed who was flashed the yellow card, not his assistant. Teams prepare for such eventualities of being down to 10 men. Hara with the corner, 5 in the penalty area. He came all the way through. Instead there's a break on. Marcus Guillaume was the intended target. That's Shiotani. He has just dropped into the left centre-back position. The shape remains largely the same. 3 centre-backs, 4 in midfield, and now just 2 up front. Nice idea from Agrakate, doesn't quite come off. Kate once again, Figueiredo. Nene. Now Figueiredo. Marcus Guillen, corner. Hara. Getting the ball where you don't want to get the ball. Marcus Guillen has got Kante close. Mendes. Oh, inside of the post. Nacho Mendes from distance, stunning strike. And then coming the other end, Hiroshima trying for a breakaway themselves, but oh, so unfortunate there for JDT and Nacho Mendes. He's got a winger up against him one-on-one, Marcus Guillen. Nene. Katsu once again. Marcus Guillen sorts his feet out, the Brazilian. Scored a couple of goals, scored in the away game in Hiroshima. Very early goal it was. Adibas to Nene. Katsu. Ambitious Matsumoto easily there, and then just helped forward by Nacho Mendes. Well, here's the earlier effort from Nacho Mendes. He's scored a couple of long-range efforts in the domestic game, and that one has Daisuke Osako beaten all ends up and could so easily have gone in, but it didn't. In the fasting month of Ramadan in Malaysia, and that plus the humidity means that there are designated water breaks close to the 30-minute mark and the 75-minute mark. And a chance just for Xisco Munaf to reorganise his team. Surely have got to try to take advantage of the extra man they've got for nearly an hour. Translation going on as Bartosz tries to get his message across. As the injured Nacho Inter looks on. So a cooling break makes sense. In the commentary box, I'm perspiring rather more than I should do. Sanfrecce Hiroshima, they've got work to do in this humidity. Down to 10 men, they'll be chasing the ball for an hour. Off the back of a longish trip. He starts with a goal kick. Sean Evans, the early Australian match referee. Without a red card already, don't think Hiroshima can have any real cause for complaint about it though. Alpara. Figueiredo. slotting in onto that left-hand side of the back three. The shape is clear, that ball to see. 5-4 when defending. Forget the one. Arribas, ball played in, looks for Figueiredo. Koabe does really well. In fact, it's Araki got in there and felt the challenge coming in from João Figueiredo. Araki scored at the weekend. He's a real threat from set plays, powerful figure in the air, the number 4. Sure there was too much in that, but Japanese side will be taking as much time as they possibly can, legitimately, to slow things down. Shrafilov, Nene, just blocked off Rio Shaman there. That's clever play by the Japanese. He wasn't really going for the ball, but put himself in a position where he knew there would be contact, so a free kick comes in. We got beyond the last 16 in the old AFC Champions League, Sanfrecce. Big number 4 will be the target. German does well to hold on to possession. Muto. Lovely ball curled in. It's Shrafilov's header. German again. That's Shrafilov again to the 4. This is Mutuku Ahara. Lovely ball. Well, Ahara off the post. Still in play. And then off the line and pushed over the top of the bar. It was Shuto Nakano who got the last chance. They're asking about a handball, they're asking about a foul as the final effort from Nakano came in. There's the first one, that's off the post from Araki. So good in the air. Second ball comes in. That's cleared away by Eddie Shrafilov. And Nakano under real pressure. Nacho Mendes with a really important challenge. VAR don't think there's anything in there, and hard not to disagree with them. The 10 men really getting a lead in the away leg. Ralpara. Put ball in, and that will be a corner kick. Zarko doesn't think it is. Araki came so close to opening the scoring at the other end. It certainly looks like it's come off gyro. Araki is not complaining too much. And JDT goes short for the corners. In by Arache, and that's comfortable for Ozako. Gear. Both teams have hit the post. Nene looks for Mendes. Gyro! Good block. centre forward and goalkeeper hurt in the collision. It broke for Gyro. He went in bravely, but so did goalkeeper Kaisuke Ozako. Lovely ball from Nene. Gets the deflection in from the makeshift left back. Gyro does just enough. Goalkeeper out very, very quickly. One thing Hiroshima don't want is this guy going out. He's very much the number one for Bartosz. Inside Issei Uichi from Toronto Yamaga in January, but Ozako has been an ever-present in goal this season in all competitions for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Had its moments, but it's not really taken off in the way Johor would have wanted it to. Had a good start. They hit the inside of the post, but they're very aware that Hiroshima have the ability to hit them on the break. Figueiredo. Midfield too. Very consistent, no nonsense. And stereotype, typical Japanese, hard-working, win the ball and pass midfielders. Here's Oscar Arribas. Attack Shuto. Mendes. Nene. Marcus Guillermo. Who want to run at his winger, O'Hara. Nene helps it up. Figueiredo. Big chance, big block. Nakano threw his body in the way. Arribas helped in, miscommunication. Hiroshima escape. Matsumoto takes it out wide to O'Hara. O'Hara only put it out of play. Good footwork, Cisco. He was a decent player in his time. Nene. Marcus Guillermo. Nene. Deflected, could have gone anywhere. It's gone off to Takaki Shichi for a corner kick for JDT. Expected a lot of time added on. The red card and a couple of injuries. Guillermo's corner, free header. Oh, that's a chance for Antonio Glauda. Scored in an earlier AFC Champions League match. And he's come in completely unmarked and gets it so wrong, Glauda. Figueiredo, a bit too fancy. Tsumoto, done by Ohara. Suzuki couldn't control it. Agarikache, lovely ball. Guillaume. Left foot for Guillaume and Figueiredo. Woodwork for the second time. João Figueiredo. Well, it was a shot in all honesty from Guillaume. It nearly turned into the perfect pass. Hiroshima will just want to hold on till half-time. Arribas. JDT desperately looking to pile home the pressure. Get themselves an advantage, 11 versus 10. 2 yellow cards for Kim Ju-sung. Here's Jairo. Arribas. Arribas once again. Kano does well. Kano had a great chance himself, and look at that, Tubiade nearly at the halfway line just to make sure JDT approach pressing. Remains goalless. Figueiredo the target. Nacho Mendes. Possessional stats close to 70% for JDT. Mendes. Lauda. Aga. 3 of the 6 minutes gone. Nene. Resists the temptation to shoot. Oscar Arribas, comfortable for Shiandani. Lauda in ahead of Suzuki. Drumbeat from the fans increases. Eddie Ashrafulov rather wastefully puts that one over the top. Nothing short, nothing playing out from the back when you're with 10 men. Launch the ball deep into opposition territory. Try and pick up the pieces for the second ball. Agarikache, he picks up the second ball for JDT. 49 minutes played in this first half. While Para goes beyond the halfway line. Figueiredo. Mendes and Skier. Sohara. Does well. Knocks his man off. Nene, Figueiredo. Lauda, chance to shoot. Hiroshima will be very happy if Johor going to be shooting from 30 metres. Para throws it in. Araki clears. Second chance for Para. Still another 60 seconds as Akache. And good smothering save from Keisuke Okaso. It's a good save. Keeps it into his midriff, but it's the kind of save you'd expect him to make as well. At the other end, there's a corner kick given away by Raul Para. Certain as who was around him, that's sensible defending. But it'll be Hiroshima who end this first half on the offensive, down to 10 men. Still very much in this leg, very much in this tie, but the second leg still to come in Japan. Well, the second corner for half. Araki's the target, but it's not the best ball in. The second chance to Kaki. Maybe he won't. Half-time whistle goes. Both teams have hit the woodwork. Johor twice, once through Nacho Mendes, just going out of picture. On a header from João Figueiredo. At the other end, well, post was hit by Hayato Araki. A good chance put over the bar by Nakano. Rio Jaman has led the line well. Jairo had very few chances, as has Figueiredo. The big story is, though, that Sanfrecce Hiroshima down to 10 men, following 2 yellow cards for Kim Joo-sung. But at half-time at the Sultan Ibrahim Stadium in Johor, it is Johor Darul Taksim from Malaysia, 0. Sanfrecce Hiroshima from Japan, 0. A very warm welcome back to the Sultan Ibrahim Stadium. We are in Johor for the AFC Champions League Elite round of 16 first leg match between Johor Darul Taksim and Sanfrecce Hiroshima. It is goalless at half-time, but Sanfrecce have been reduced to 10 men following 2 yellow cards for just 2 fouls, it must be said, for Kim Joo-sung. JDT have hit the woodwork twice. João Figueiredo with a header. Eddie Shrafilov saved one off his own goal line up at the other end, as the 10 men of Sanfrecce proved that, I think as we all knew, they were not going to be easy to break down. Exactly that has been the case. Johor having 71% possession in the first half, 17 shots to 5. One change coming the way for Sanfrecce. And it is Naoti Arai, a defensive player, coming in for Moto Ohara. There is the change. Arai, a regular wing-back, so this doesn't weaken them in terms of personnel, but it is 10 versus 11. Arai signed from the Albirex club in March of 2024. He's played in 6 of their AFC Champions League Elite matches so far this campaign. And actually started the match against Kyoto. 2-1 defeat at home. Rio German will be leading the line alongside Suzuki. It'll be a 3-4-2 formation for the visitors. Johor, well, they've got to make this man advantage tell in this home leg. They know how difficult it's going to be in Hiroshima. And Zubiare and co need to keep a clean sheet at one end and hope that Gyro can find his scoring boots. And João Figueiredo can find a little bit of fortune. And Nacho Mendes can keep on prompting and probing. Intriguingly set up ahead of the second half. Sean Evans gets us underway. AFC Champions League Elite. Second half, JDT in state colours of red and blue against the change strip, the all-white Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Johor chasing a place in the quarter-finals of the AFC Champions League Elite, as indeed are Sanfrecce for the very first time to reach the quarter-finals. Big 45 minutes for both clubs. Considering the success they've had on the domestic stage, perhaps underachieved on the Asian stage. It's going to be a foul, needless, from Antonio Glauder. Rio German has played very, very cleverly. Initiated contact. Signed from Shonan Balmare. January is one of the changes for the new coach, Portosh to come in. Oh, what a challenge that is. Lauda had to win the ball and did. As that ball goes out of play, Johor line up with Zubiari in goal. Hara, Ishrafilov and Glauder at the back. Mendes, Akatse and Nene in midfield. Oscar Arribas and Marcus Guillen providing the width for Gyro and João Figueiredo up front. Israel Para. Figueiredo. There's a lot of the foraging from deep to trying to set up the play. There is Figueiredo, nicely played. A little bit short, and first involvement for the new boy. To Arai. Johor see plenty of the ball, of course. Just look at that defensive rigidity and discipline. And then Rio German, a bit loose on the touch, easily won back by JDT. Give you the Sanfrecce lineup in just a moment. Nene, Portuguese, a recent signing for Chinese football. It's over Gyro, that will go harmlessly out for a goal kick. Sanfrecce Hiroshima, Bartosz goal has got Ozako in goal, Shiatani, Hayato Araki and Takaki Shichi along the back. Shuto Nakano, right wing back, Taishi Matsumoto, Hayo Kawabe, and now Arai along the midfield with Suzuki and Ryo Shaman leading the line. There is Akito Suzuki. Scored twice when the teams met in the league stage of this competition last calendar year. Adibas will chase into the corner. Does well to win a throw-in. Two balls on the pitch as the experience. Tsukasa Shiatani. Seen so much in the game. Kante. It's gone out for a goal kick. So the early stage of the second stanza, the pressure coming from JDT, but organised resistance from the Japanese. They 1,500 fans in this stadium. It's must have slightly reduced this season because they've added some additional executive boxes. Well utilised, it must be said. Marcus Guillaume looks to take on Arai. Arai does well. Nacho. Just looking for a little bit of a boost. Arai does well. Suzuki will chase. Works in the silver, stripped and ready to come on. Whether that will be alongside Gyro or instead of the number 11. Aguirre-Katse! Tipped over the bar. Ozako. Swings it onto his left foot. It's moving in the air. The keeper has to be alert. Substitution is going to be made, and Gyro, you can see the frustration in his face as he went off. But Bergson de Silva, the top goal scorer for Johor Darul Taksim ever, comes on, but he hasn't scored in this season's AFC Champions League. He's scored 19 league goals though. Prolific goal scorer for JDT. Over Bergson. Areche! Stunning strike. He had a sighter a few minutes ago, Aga Areche. Arif Ayman looks on approvingly. Johor Darul Taksim have got the advantage in this round of 16 tie. Corner comes in, it's not properly cleared. Mendes thought of the shot and then just says to Aga, there you go, that's your left foot, and what a glorious angle as that curls. Top shelf, top corner, top effort. Advantage Johor. In a appropriate time for all those Chinese New Year fireworks that were going off into the early hours of the morning. Stunning strike. First goal in the AFC Champions League for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. 1-0 and not the worst scoreline. Alright, taking his time. Matsumoto. Just run out of space. Matsumoto. Glad to see him in an attacking position. From Moraro Reds in January. He's another of those changes as Bergson is beaten off by Taichi. Here's the goal scorer. Sanfrecce. A shot just before half-time that's well saved. Just after half-time that was tipped over. Now he's got the goal. Now, Nacho Mendes tried to repeat the process. A bit of work to do. I think he changed his mind halfway through that. Japanese teams in the playoff phases of this AFC Champions League elite. Japanese team made, of course, all the way to the last two finals of the AFC Champions League. So there is a rich pedigree. I think it shows the strength of the league. Just how many different teams are making it to the latter stages of Asian competition for Japan. J-League is having a shortened 6-month league campaign. So they run up to the World Cup, and then after the World Cup they go on to the European calendar, August to May. So a 6-month J1 Vision League ongoing. Hiroshima 1-2, lost 1. Figueiredo just couldn't keep it in play. It is once again. We've got 3 players now on the field, Johor, who can just find that little angle pass for Figueiredo to run onto, and Bergson if he can get beyond the back 3. Coming on for the injured Nacho Insa. Jaman. Figueiredo. Look at the space over on the far side for Marcus Guilherme. The ball just stops on him. Takaki gets back. Guilherme crosses. Katse doesn't follow in. Kawabe can clear. Experienced 30-year-old Kawabe can play centre-back. Did play centre-back at the weekend. Figueiredo. Mendes. Adibas turning up on the Para turning up in an advanced position. Bergson. Mendes looks for Bergson. Shiatani's there. Suzuki will chase. Sugiura's had one scary moment with the ball at his feet, and Suzuki keeps him honest. And Bergson was late coming out, but that's gone all the way to Adibas. He's got his body between man and ball. Kano is there. Zarco looks for Jaman, not the best ball out from the normally unflappable goalkeeper. He's had a very good game. That's Keisuke Zarco. Very much the number 1 choice. Figueiredo. Sanfrecce. Figueiredo. For the spectacular, earns a corner. Second of this second half, 6th of the game for JDT. defenders up there. Strafilov comes in late to the penalty area. Araki does brilliantly. Kache, chance again. Kache doesn't catch it right that time. Oh. But there was a surge of Japanese defenders getting out to him as soon as they realised there was Kache on the ball. Arribas, Meccano. Oh, Jaman is taken out. That's going to be a yellow for Antonio Glauda. Ian Raul Parra, no. Well, the textbook definition of no-nonsense defenders. Sometimes they just go a little bit too far. Follows through. You'd say he got the ball with his right foot, but the left foot was following through. So a yellow card for Glauda. The first of his career, it won't be his last. Sanfrecce Hiroshima preparing to make 2 substitutions. Whether or not it's before this free kick or after. It is indeed before, and it's the front 2. Akito Suzuki and Ryo Jaman who are going off. Their replacements will be Mutsuki Kato and Kosuke Kinoshita. Kinoshita involved in every single AFC Champions League elite match for Sanfrecce this season. Involved straight away. Bergson back to his goalkeeper. Kato, who was putting the pressure on. Kato's there again. Tomoto, Kato. The best clearance from Glauda. He was caught. But there's a break on here for JDT. Marcus Guillaume with space to run. Here is Marcus Guillaume, beaten away. Mendes, Guillaume again. Round to Figueiredo. Figueiredo just beaten to it by Arai. But at the expense of a corner for Naoto Arai. Misdirected a pass, went chasing after a ball. As I said, he's a no-nonsense defender. This time he was the one who came out worst. His mistake, and look at that determination. He didn't go studs in. The equally powerful figure of Hayato Araki comes through, and that leads to the chance at the other end. Marcus Guillaume needs to do better than that to beat Ozako. Seventh corner of the match to be curled in by Agareche. Strafilov at the far post. Chiatani is there. To be corner number 8. Well, they are turning on the screw, Johor. They've got the goal to get in the lead. They've got another half hour or so to add to this advantage, to take to Hiroshima. Oscar Arribas. Well, there's claims of a handball there. Israfilov is chasing, still Eddie Israfilov. Pulls it back, Bergson! 2-0! Wow. A needless yellow card for Bergson de Silva. But the record-breaking goal scorer breaks his duck in the AFC Champions League. And 2-0 is a huge advantage for Johor Darul Taksim. Everybody celebrating. Anthony Zubiade. The celebration will earn him a yellow card. Firstly, was there a handball? It looked likely against Shiatani. Ishrafilov played on, pulls the ball back, and Bergson one touch, top of the net. Lovely finish from Bergson de Silva. And now Hiroshima are right up against it. This stadium is only 6 years old, but it's already had some famous nights. Is this going to be another one of them? The goal on the card. Araki does well, but don't count Hiroshima out of this. Look at this, they've got a 5-man break. Nakano pulls it back, Lauda does well. Nakano again. Lauda again. Lecce finds Adibas. Figueiredo breaks for him. And Figueiredo carries on. He's got runners left and right. He wants the free kick. He thought he was caught late by Matsumoto. No, says the referee. Wants the energy, wants the urgency to continue. He knows Sanfrecce Hiroshima are on the ropes. Watermottle on the field of play. Cleared by the goalkeeper, who's had a fine game but had no chance with either goal. Shintani can let that one come back to Ozako. Right then, what do you do if you're Bartosz? Do you chase a goal? Do you shut up shop? 1-0, you'd think Sanfrecce would be okay with that. 2-0 becomes a much more difficult task. Third in the elite standings in the East. Kawabe. Challenge comes in. Nakano. Shooter Nakano playing on the right wing back position. Go right in front of the flag-bearing Boys of Straits. Great shot to this stadium. Hiroshima can be an intimidating venue as well. Johor probably still need to push for more. Challenge coming in the back there from Shiatani on the back of Aketse. Aketse again. Ishrafilov, such an important role in the goal. Midway through the second half, it has been a fabulous quarter for Johor Darul Taksim. 2 goals. Shell-shocked for Hiroshima. Adibas. Japanese teams never seem to know when they're down. Shafilov looks for a hugely difficult ball into Marcus Guillaume. Sheeta beaten in the air. Bergson. 1 or 2 challenges flying in from Araki. Here's Figueiredo. Looks for Bergson. Breaks to Arribas. Oscar Arribas. Good catch. More work for Azako. And good delivery. This is Arai driving forward. With everybody back now. Second leg next week in Hiroshima. Live on these channels. Arribas doesn't fall for the nutmeg. Bergson loses out. Kawabe ahead of Figueiredo. Kato was just preparing. Bergson de Silva on as a substitute for Gyro. A goal-scoring substitution. See from that, not a lot in it. Melbourne City and Burram drew 1 each yesterday. Chida Zelvia themselves on a away draw. So Kobe also involved in the knockout stages. Japan were hoping for 3 entrants into the quarter-final stages in Saudi Arabia, to be confirmed in Jeddah. Shafilov again. It's an excellent game, as well as the assist. That's that important save on the goal line. Be a throw-in for Johor. Arribas takes it quickly. Figueiredo's alert. Just didn't run for him. Arribas again. Bergson beaten by Araki. There's been a tower in the heart of the Sanfrecce defence. Oscar Arribas! Ooh, that's not far away. When we see the replay of this dips in the last second change. We're going to see the introduction of Shota Nakamura. 23-year-old in for Hayo Kawabe. The humidity and the fact they played, or they will have played, over an hour with only 10 men, just beginning to take its toll on Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Arribas. Bergson protects the ball, still Bergson. Nicely done by Arai. Finds Ozako. Lauda manhandles Kinoshita out the way. Strafilov. Calmly played. Lauda, nicely done. Sanfrecce, Nacho Mendes. Progressive play from Johor Darul Taksim. Harold Parra down to the right hand side. Here is Parra. Onto Figueiredo. Onto Nacho Mendes. Into the goalkeeper's midriff. Johor creating chances, creating scoring moments. They're a giant in their own domestic league. Too successful in many ways. As you can tell by the international flavour of their 11. Japanese clubs tend to just stick with homemade players. And it does become a financial discussion. In the AFC Champions League Elite Finals, Japanese teams last year were acutely aware of the power of the Saudi, the Real. Johor playing, looking for a third goal. Figueiredo looks for Bergson. Good movement from Bergson. Nakamura has come onto this right-hand side. Just clipped. How about that from Marcus Guillen? Okay, we've got the drinks break. The combination of the heat, humidity, and Ramadan, the fasting month. Our players in the Johor squad who do fast, and gives us a chance to have a look at the goals. Aga Aketse finds the top corner. It's a sweet strike from the Spaniard. 1-0 for Johor early in the second half. Then Israfilov kept the ball alive, and Bergson, he's been so predatory on the domestic stage. It was only a matter of time before he did it on the international stage. Needless yellow card, but a yellow card to celebrate a goal for Bergson da Silva. For this cooling break, Johor can look back on 30 minutes of really good work. For a final 15 minutes to try to make this game as safe as possible. Tashkol, young coach, brought over from Germany. And they still carry hope to that little knot of 50 or so. Been noisy. Quite remarkable how much noise 50 people can make if you had a drum. 31,225 the confirmed attendance at the Sultan Ibrahim Stadium. It's another 30,000 plus crowd for AFC Champions League. JDT have had problems against Japanese sides in the past. One of their more humbling defeats, a 5-1 loss against Vissel Kobe. But they've invested. They're looking out for back-to-back victories over Japanese clubs. Nakamura though. Shot comes in, and a first save of note to deny Kinoshita. Old-fashioned style of forward, 6'2". Holds the ball up well, shields it, does really well to get the better of Lauda. shape of this match somewhat dictated by that early red card for Kim Joo-sung. Figueiredo. Para outside of him. Marcus Guillen. Figueiredo. Here is Para. (5-3-1). The four matters, that just flicked on by Araki. Shrafilov does well to get in front of Kinoshita. Nakamura caught. Right, Lauda. I tell you what, the Hiroshima bench are having a word with the referee Sean Evans there, saying Antonio Glauda, he's on a yellow card, he's come through the back, foul's been given. Now to Arai, looks to curl this one in again. Araki, the number 4, is an obvious target. They've added Kinoshita as well, so there's certainly an aerial presence there for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Kinoshita! Oh! Just wide. Oh! That is a whisker away. It's a lovely ball in. Kinoshita up above Ishrafilov, who hits the deck, doesn't challenge, and Kinoshita will think he should have scored. Changes coming the way of Johor Darul Taksim. That's Yago and Hidalgo, but not happening just yet. Figueiredo has got Bergson inside of him. Figueiredo! Post for the second time for him. Was it the right option? Takaki couldn't reach it. Figueiredo went for the near side of Osako. Shrafilov again. Para. Figueiredo looks for Marcus Guillen. Zarco off his line quickly and decisively. He's had a good game. He's needed to. Kinoshita. Flag has stayed down for Kinoshita. It's off Glauda onto his own goalkeeper. And now the flag goes up against Kinoshita. So it's a moot point whether or not that would have counted. Nonetheless, Glauda and Zubiare believe not to see the ball flash into their own net. Not convinced by that. Lauda was keeping them on side. Figueiredo. Marcus Guillen. Bergson, Figueiredo available. Arribas. Couldn't keep it down under pressure. Excellent defending, it must be said, by Sanfrecce, closing down the opportunity of the shot. And João Figueiredo comes off, hit the post twice, and the goal scorer Aga Aketse, who came on as a sub, is replaced. So Yago will take an attacking berth. And Hidalgo perhaps a more central midfield berth. Maybe a number 10. "83 minutes on the clock." How Sanfrecce would love a goal away from home just to reduce the deficit under the full moon. Nice ball in. Hiroshima nearly gets there. Glauder clears. Here's Yago. And look at the break coming on here. Oscar Arribas, it's 4-on-2. Arribas, he can go left or right. Marcus Guillaume! The Brazilian strikes again. And Johor have 3 at home. Hiroshima were looking for an away goal, and instead they got caught on the counter. It was 4-on-2. Yago's pace terrifies any defence, and then Arribas has options, movement either side of him, and a cool finish. Very like the goal he scored in Hiroshima in the league encounter. It's a 3rd AFC Champions League elite goal for the Brazilian. What a signing he has proven. Came from Nagasaki and has scored all his goals against Japanese teams. Wow. What a night this is turning into for Johor Darul Taksim. Nakano. Nakano's long throw. It's over Israpilov, and it's in. It's been put in by Kinoshita. Now that punches the mood. And that makes that group of 50 very, very happy. But the long throw caused so much chaos. And in the blink of an eye, the mood changes. And Hiroshima can believe once again. The long throw goes over everybody. Arai attacks it. Off the goalkeeper. In fact, it might even be off Nene. That might even be an own goal. Zubiara does well. It is indeed an own goal off Nene. The Portuguese in front of his own goalkeeper. Can't do anything to stop that. Well, the days of the away goals counting double have long gone in two-legged football, but that away goal really just does give them a chance. Here's Hidalgo. Yago. Bergson. Into the face of Araki. Cleared by Ozako. Ara. Yago. Nene. pass, drives forward. Excellent defensive work. A couple of minutes of normal time remaining. Marcus Guillen! Oh. Marcus Guillen looking for another goal. Nice idea. Just been informed the official man of the match is Aketse, which is quite remarkable considering he came on as a substitute. Has been taken off subsequently, but what an influence he had on the game. And look at this chasing now. This is Kento. The second goal really would change this, and it's another long throw. This is where the first goal came from. Shuto Nakano. He fizzed this one in to the 6-yard box. Subiare needs to be alert. Subiare comes, makes a good claim. It's what you want your goalkeeper to do. Whether or not the scouting work had picked out that Shuto Nakano had that long throw in his capability, it certainly seemed to catch JDT by surprise. Here's Hidalgo. Large in time, looks for Yago. 7 minutes to add on. Saudi official Majid Al-Shamrani. And 3-0. You could really say this tie is virtually over. Going into the second leg, look at that! Marcus Guillen, Hidalgo again! Double save from Ozako, but that's not for the Marcus Guillen moment. The referee's played on there, that would have counted. Really not sure what the foul is for, unless it is for the original incident. Marcus Guillen, 32 shots to 8. Well, I was joking before saying that the 48 they got against Shanghai Shenhua, couldn't imagine that being repeated. It's not quite being repeated, but what dominance that is. Over 70% of the ball, admittedly against 10 then. That goal for Hiroshima, the own goal from Nene. And is there another sting in the tail? Moto's ball in. Maki will chase. Sheeta the target. Nakamura tidies up. Nervy moments for Johor. Aoki. Belted clear by Nene once again. Nacho Mendes lets it bounce. Hidalgo caught late. Arai. Final change. Taiki Suga comes on for the experienced Tsukasa Shiotani, who looks a weary man as he goes off. It is humid. Cisco Munoz would, I'm sure, have taken 3-1 and a 2-goal lead before the start of this game. And if it remains like that, part of his job will be to convince his players that the late goal won't affect things too much. Hidalgo. Or is there another goal to savour? Oscar Arribas. Hidalgo. The best ball in by the Argentine. Nakamura gets away from Arribas. Arribas will be yellow carded for that. He's just back from suspension. So he picks up a yellow. It's Lauda. Bergson. In the referee's notebook. Nakamura wins another throw-in. And there'll be another opportunity for Arai to come over. This time there's a yellow card for the assistant. Could they? They couldn't sneak a second. Zubiare! Heart in mouth time for the keeper. He was decisive. Knew he was coming for the corner. Nearly just gets under it. If he had that, I would have just been able to tap home. Hidalgo, Mendes. Well, Johor have scored 3. They've hit the woodwork 3 times. Keeper Ozako has made, well, 4 top draw saves and 4 routine saves, but he's been busy. Antonio Lauda. Alright, does well. Finds Kinoshita. Nishita's got Nakamura outside of him. Lauda breaks to Nakamura. That's off Israfilov. And they've got 1 comeback goal. Is there a second for Hiroshima? Now to Arai. Number 4, Hayato Araki. Number 17, Shuke Kinoshita. There, the danger. Bergson clears. Yago will look to take them on. Yago's got pace. Look at Yago. He's got Takaki for company and Nakamura. And he wins a throw-in. That's excellent from Yago. Also good from Nakamura. Breathing hard. It's only just come on as sub. That's what the humidity can do to you. Nene, I'm sure will be credited with an own goal, inadvertent though it was. Hidalgo. Yago, Hidalgo, busy. 2 in the penalty area. Nene. It's comfortable for Ozako. Final few seconds. Johor Darul attacks him, leading by 3 goals to 1. 3 second-half goals. Put them in a 5. Ooh, Lauda's. Yeah, Lauda has conceded a free kick. And again, they're looking at Bartosz. They're looking at the referee saying, "That's Lauda. That's his 3rd foul. He was on a warning." I think they've got a case there. But definitely what they've got is a free kick in a really, really dangerous area. There's a tension around this stadium. Suga. He's only just come on the field of play. Has he got a major part to play? free kick. Shrapilov clears for a corner. The danger isn't over. The clock ticks on. It's a lovely ball in by Suga. Oh. In the league game they scored a similar goal to that. Well defended Johor, but the danger's not over. And Iraqi will be a target. Here's Iraqi. Adibas is there. And the referee blows the final whistle on a pulsating game of football, which sees Johor Darul Taksim take a huge stride towards the quarter-finals. Bergs de Silva on as a second-half substitute with one of the goals. Marcus Guillaume with his third goal of the AFC Champions League Elite. Aketse, the official man of the match, scoring the opener. A gem of a goal it was as well, and then a late own goal by Nene. And a number of late chances for Sanfrecce Hiroshima will give them belief that they can overturn a 2-goal deficit. But it is a 2-goal lead for Johor Darul Taksim, and Cisco Munoz would have accepted that, well, willingly before the start of play. It's another famous night at the Sultan Ibrahim Stadium. Johor remain unbeaten in AFC Champions League Elite competition, and they take a 2-goal lead into the second leg. It's finished here. Johor Darul Taksim 3, Sanfrecce Hiroshima 1.